So we had practitioners, we had viewers. Now the engagement with the games, it had to reach as many people as possible. There was the entire challenge of making sure that it would be widespread everywhere in France. So the relay of the torch, BPC was the partner of that and is one of the winners of the 2024. So this is Julien Benoit, who is responsible for sponsoring of BPC, and Aurélie Bonnet, who is part of the directors of advisor with Auditoire. So they're going to tell you about the Olympic torch in the relay. Good afternoon to all of you. I have to admit we are still moved by this incredible event. That was the torch relay, the flame. The games were great, but what happened before, of the Paris 2024 event enabled us to go everywhere in France to really meet people all over the place, and that emotion is still very present. Of course, there's my emotion, there's Aurélie's emotion, but you can see a lot of that also on the images that you will see right now. There was the torch relay, but it's the commitment of an entire group, the BPC group, which is the second bank group in France. It became the first premium partner of the Paris Games and co-built the games, cooperated, went a little further with these two commercial brands that maybe you didn't know, called Caisse d'Épargne and Banque Populaire. It became the sponsor of the torch relay with the idea of bringing the magic of the games before the games everywhere on the entire French territory. So it was a great event. It was historical for us because, of course, we were able to enhance our cooperative model, our territory societal anchoring with your 1,000 branches everywhere in the territory to also really enhance our sport commitment. We sponsor sailing, handball, surf, basketball, and also sponsor athletes coming from various territories. More than 300 of them got support from their Caisse d'épargne or their Banque Populaire, their bank branch, and some of them won medals and shared emotions that you saw on Eurosport, for instance. And so we used that event to, as leverage to mobilize internally, and that I think is very important. We'll say more about this later, but it was a real source of motivation throughout the performance of that Olympic partnership and the torch relay. So you saw the images, you saw the torch relay. It was 3 months and a half intense. So every day we had to set up and then move and go all over France. It was a great success. Smiles. Millions of people who were by the roadside went to the event sites. We had great experiences, experiments actually, that we managed to do with Idée Active. We were very happy to work with them, and thank you so much for your support in that crazy adventure. So thank you so much for your trust throughout the 2 years of preparation. So it was actually 2 agencies working together. Auditoire is an agency that does experts in brand activating, and we used the expertise of the Idée Active that is very well known for different for anything that is moving around, so any kind of roaming. So it was for national extraordinary events. As you saw, we had stands, we had different cars that were moving in order to really show the commitment of the brand's sports legacy, everything, all of the local initiatives. As you see on the screen, in order to embody the brands, and so that they would be as close to people and the territories as possible, we had 2 vehicles, and then on the sites, there were stands with specific experience that were developed with following the brand's DNA, and also sports athletes themselves who embodied the sports that are sponsored by Banque Populaire and Caisse d'Épargne. So they were specific dates that for Corsica, Drôme, or the Paralympic relay with these very particular kind of event. Auditoire also worked with the BPCA teams in order to set up a communication strategy that would include an entire initiative with content on the social networks or the 27 local entities at the group level, and then influence experience, and then the steering of the entire public relations for entities at the national level about the relay. So I saw some of you who were players in the games, but I think what was the engine for everyone is that we wanted to be there. We wanted to be a player. We wanted to contribute to the organization, to the actual performance of that incredible event. For the BPCE group, for Banque Populaire, for Caisse d'Épargne, there was the desire to share experience and offer them, but experience by itself is not enough. It has to be embodied. Why? Because we wanted to bring magic to the territories, to the very heart of France. So we decided to mobilize staff and get people out of their comfort zone. So we are bankers. first and foremost, we're not people who work in events, but we all have that quality inside of us. So we wanted to capitalize on that really actual strength that exists, proud to belong, to contribute to the games, and to be really there for the torch relay. So we recruited over 3,000 staff who were sharing that experience with us on a daily basis. 3,000 employees who were working on atmosphere, who were to be hosts of the events, who in order there to really show the commitment that went much beyond just a group or a brand. So the rationale, the objective in terms of CSR, we wanted to make sure it would be there, present locally, and which means that local employees know their territory, their specificity, the audience. They know how to enhance all of this around the torch. So from a practical point of view, how did we go about hiring these 3,000 plus people? We started very early. As early as the summer of 2023, we started working on the job description with this 27 local entities. As early as fall of 2023, there was a call for, we called for expression of interest, and then recruitment, and then there was onboarding meetings in the spring, and then there was a dedicated team working with these employees in order to manage the entire operational side. We drafted over 3,000 call papers to call people to come. There were briefing sites. So there was a huge number of things that needed to be provided just from the administrative point of view. And then working with everything that happened, you know, the teams were switching every day, moving from one town to the next. So it was a long haul. It was 3.5 months. And in the end, it was a great success. Paris 2024, we were too keen on the idea when we showed them the project. They thought it was maybe a little too ambitious if you look at what it's like in the field, actually. And then in the end, because of the commitment of the group, of the branches, it became a case study because the result is so great compared to the project that we had, the commitment of the entire staff, as we said, but also the CSR aspect, the economic aspect. So what was the output? Our initial objective, exactly, bringing the games to the territory and making sure that the largest number of people could experience the games. Yeah, the 3,000 employees were recruited. It's actually an entire group, 100,000 employees all over France, over 50 million clients. It's this whole set of people that was committed to go even beyond that. It's 68 million people in France that really experience the magic of the games, and we hope also tomorrow for other wonderful events. Thank you so much. Thank you, Julien and Aurélie, for the BPC group and auditoire.